Come on, man. I thought I'm say that Manchester United win back-to-back wins. Now fluke. Nottingham Forest. I'm not surprised. No, I'm not surprised. This is even with the fact that Manchester United are playing just one game a week. They no fit beat Nottingham Forest. Hi God. Nottingham Forest that are struggling. See, anyways, guys, welcome back to my channel, and of course is a post-match review of the results at the weekend. Of course, I'll pick some other games across other top 5 leagues, but let's just start off with the Premier League. Now, just as I said earlier, Manchester United were unable to beat Nottingham Forest. The game ended 2-2, and in fact, it was just luck. Diallo getting the equalizer for Manchester United, because how do you go from a goal up, almost losing the game in like less than 3 minutes of the second half, because the 2 goals that Nottingham Forest scored were, I think, 47 and 49 or something like that, and then luckily for them, Diallo was able to get the equalizer, which obviously got them to draw the match and take a point. But I've said it that Manchester United are still one team that I am still not confident about, same as Arsenal. And not because I feel like Arsenal are not playing well. They are one of the best teams right now in Europe. But when you look at Manchester United, I feel like the fact that they are even playing just one game a week, they should be playing better than what they're playing right now. I still don't think the team is there yet, but I guess it is what it is. And yes, maybe they are not losing games, maybe they are not losing it, but they are trying as much as possible to remain in that winning mentality that you would expect, Manchester United to be. But well, I guess it was just a draw that they were obviously going to get at the weekend, but against the Nottingham Forest side that are really struggling at the moment. Come on, Manchester United can do better than that. And then to Arsenal, who definitely started off the weekend game, they won 2-0 away from home, beating Burnley. And as I've said, I feel like the fact that Arsenal are not conceding, that is really helping them. There's this saying that you can win a game with an attacking mindset, but you can win a title with a very good defensive side. And looking at how compact they are defensively, I feel like they're one team that I definitely want to bet on to win the Premier League. However, we are still in the first half of the season. Hopefully they can carry this momentum into the second half, because Arsenal has usually struggled when it comes to playing in, from January, February, March, they begin to struggle and it doesn't favor them. So hopefully I'm rooting for them to be able to get it right in those times and then probably win the title. I feel like it's about time. Looking at how consistent they've been over the years, finishing second, you would expect them that now that the likes of Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea are struggling, this is when you want to win the title. If they don't win the title this time around, I don't know when they can actually ever win it again. But you know what? They were able to get a 2-0 win against Burnley, and I think that's the most important thing. Rice and Gyökeres getting the goals for them. I think it's good that Gyökeres is steadily getting into the standard of the Premier League. And obviously, if you're with a group of players that are playing so well at the moment, it only makes sense that for you to be scoring goals, as a number 9. So I won't say I'm even surprised with that result. And then Liverpool were able to get over the fact that they've been struggling a little bit. I think it wasn't just the fact that they won against Aston Villa that I think have been a good side, but it's the way they played, it's the performance. They played so well. They didn't give, even though yes, Aston Villa also missed chances and all that, but I feel like they put up a very, very good performance, which I think was deserved of the win. You know, when you look at the likes of Ekitike, Mohamed Salah did get a goal in that game. But when you look at Mohamed Salah, who I think has been struggling, he played better, even though he still lost chances and all that, but he played better. You can tell that he's coming back to his usual self. The other players also, Van Dijk also played very well in that game. Konate also, they were really, really steady. So I like the fact that they didn't, they weren't forcing it. They just wanted it to play out naturally, and that was what happened. And I said they played very well. Gravenberch got their second goal. He came back from injury, and yeah, I think it was a very good 2-0 win. They did defend very well. The midfield, obviously, Gravenberch, McAllister, Mo Salah also played better. He did play well. Gakpo, obviously, I think he has been one of their standout players so far this season, even if it looks like they're not playing well, but I think he has been quite consistent compared to Mo Salah. And yeah, it was a 2-0 win for them in that game. And then Tottenham lost to Chelsea 1-0. Chelsea played really, really well in that game. I feel like João Pedro came back to the player we saw in the FIFA Club World Cup. Yeah. Is there anything to be said about Caicedo? I don't think there's anything to be said. I think he's one of the top 2 best defensive midfielders in the world right now. He is that good, and it's a performance that he has put up since last season. Even the season where it looks like Chelsea are inconsistent, the guy just always, he just stands out. He just stands out. And he gave the assist to the goal that João Pedro scored. And I think he's good at João Pedro scored because he hasn't scored in 9 games. And so, scoring against a rival team, yes, it gives you back that confidence. It does. And so winning that game for Chelsea, I think it was a very good one. Aside from the fact that they actually won, they played really well. In fact, I feel like that game could have ended 3-0 in favor of Chelsea. João Pedro missed about 2-3 chances. Enzo Fernandez also missed 1 or 2 chances. That's some of the problems with Chelsea, but you know what? They got the result against Tottenham, who I think have been really good this season. And it's 3 points for them. I think currently they're number 6 on the table, but it's not even about where they are right now on the table. It's the fact that they should be a bit more consistent. And I'm talking of Chelsea now. They need to be a bit more consistent. And hopefully, they can start getting better results. Sanchez also did put up a very good performance. I think he was calculating right. He wasn't taking the wrong steps, wrong calculations. Like, he was there. He was literally in the game. And I think that also, even though Tottenham there wasn't much for Sanchez to do, but it was in the game, because sometimes like that he can lose focus, and then maybe even when the opponent is not playing well, they somehow get a goal. But it was concentrated all through the match, and that is what you expected. You would expect, obviously, of a Chelsea goalkeeper. And aside from the fact that they won the game, it was a clean sheet for them. It was good. I think it was good for Chelsea. And then Manchester City beating Bournemouth, who I think has been the second best team so far this season, beating them 3-1. Even though I feel like when Erling Haaland scored the first goal, they did get a goal back, but Man City were really, really concentrated. Although I do feel like Bournemouth also kept a high line, because so many times Man City broke them with the high line. And so definitely that is one thing Man City does. If they know that you keep a very high line, they would 80%, 90% most definitely catch you on that high line and win you. And so definitely that was what happened in that game against Bournemouth. Bournemouth played well, but I feel like Man City was just too much for them to handle. Helen Lannan scoring a brace, and then O'Reilly, definitely the goal he scored was a beautiful goal, literally almost from the 18-yard box. Let me say even far out of the 18-yard box. It was a beautiful goal anyways. But yes, Man City did get their goal, their win 3-1 against Bournemouth. And yeah, I feel like some of the games were quite really as expected. Newcastle for one lost their game against West Ham 3-1. Disappointing for Newcastle that I felt like they've been building momentum, playing well, really getting good results. But West Ham, that are literally, I think, maybe 19 on the table, beat them. Even though, yes, I know it was at West Ham's home. But then again, come on, you would expect Newcastle to win that game. But I guess it wasn't to be. West Ham played really well and they did deserve the 3 points. And now other results, I think there's still a game to be played today. Sunderland, who I would say they're one of the surprising team from the promoted teams. They've been playing so well. They're obviously going to be playing their own match today against Everton. Now, if Sunderland win that game, there's a chance that they'll be number 2 on the table. However, I feel like they're playing at home. They are playing. Look at the game they played against Chelsea, going from a goal down and eventually win the game 2-1. Come on, I feel like they are one of the best teams that have come, that have played so well, coming, from the Championship. Looking at all the passings that have come from the Championship to the Premier League, they are one team that I think they've played so well, and they are where they are. And that is one thing about the Premier League. If you're able to, even though they bought a lot of players, with the like of Xhaka in that team, it makes it a bit steady for them. Well, I guess it is what it is, but they're playing Everton today. Let's see what happens. That might reshuffle the table a little bit, but those were the results in the Premier League over the weekend. Before I go further in this video, have you subscribed to the channel? It's free. You don't have to pay. We don't need shikini, nothing. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Yes, please do subscribe to the channel. It's free. You're not paying anything. And also don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles at _official FSH. Let's get back into the video and to results to other games in the top 5 leagues. I will just mention just a few. Just a few results. Bayern Munich obviously were 3-0 winners over Bayer Leverkusen. That is no surprise. Jackson getting a goal. Yeah, all things good for Bayern Munich at the moment. 9 wins out of 9. 27 points, defending champions, top of the league. Is there anything to be said about them? I don't think so. And then Real Madrid in Spain did beat Valencia 4-0. Mbappe getting 2 goals. Bellingham, Federico Carreras getting the final goal. I think all things are good for Real Madrid at the moment. They are one thing definitely teams I think want to look out for, because they are just going about their business quietly. No one is looking at them. Teams have to be careful of them, not just even in La Liga, in Europe, in the Champions League. So definitely it was a very good performance from Xabi Alonso's side. Barcelona also were able to beat Lecce 3-1. Marcus Rashford getting a goal and obviously being the player of the match. I think Marcus Rashford is getting his feet in that squad. Somehow I feel like when you are in a team where it looks like everyone has the same goal, it makes you a better player. And that is exactly what it is for Marcus Rashford in that Barcelona squad. He's really playing well. He's getting goals, assisting, putting up man of the match performance. I think there's not much to be said about him at the moment. He's really, really doing well. And then Borussia Dortmund were able to beat Augsburg 1-0 away from home. Borussia Dortmund, apart from that game that they played against Bayern Munich, who I think has been a better side than them, they are currently number 3 on the table. They are playing so well. Guirassy scoring the goal for them, the only goal of the game, obviously. But I feel like they are doing well so far this season. They are getting results you would expect. The team is playing very, very well, which is what I think is more important. And getting results. Yeah, I think Borussia Dortmund are on par to give Bayern Munich. I feel like they're the only team that can give Bayern Munich a run for that title. Forget RB Leipzig, they will still lose some games and come down. They are currently number 2, but they're not the team. Bayer Leverkusen, I don't think they are the team. Borussia Dortmund definitely will be the one to give Munich a tough run for that title. And then to the final game is Paris Saint-Germain beating Nice 1-0. I still don't know what to make of that result yet, but I feel like Paris Saint-Germain are just trying to ensure that they get results. Yeah, they are struggling just a little bit. Injuries, I don't think injuries are the problem because majority of the players are back. Even though Desiree Doué is out with a very bad injury right now, I think he's going to be out for probably the better most of the season. If he makes it back, maybe March, but it's an hamstring injury, he's out. But Ousmane Dembele is back, Kvaratskhelia is back. They're playing well. They are playing well. So I feel like there are just some results that they might struggle, but they will definitely get results. They will. Well, those are my thoughts on some of the games that were played over the weekend. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to also like, share, and most importantly, put on your post notification buttons to get our latest videos when they drop. That's so much from me, from your girl Feyintola, and until I come your way again, enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, people.